So I'm trans and my mom is hella supportive, but sometimes she's a little too supportive because she'll take me shopping for clothes, but every time we go shopping for clothes, she always turns to the usually male assistant helping me find clothes and says, "This is my son, he's trans, which means he doesn't have a penis."
My college has a housing survey for next year, and we have to choose 3 of our top general interests. And if I say eating out, will they pair me with a lesbian?
Shout out to Macy's, which has a gay bear couple in their window display. See, it says Mr. and Mr. And then the bed also says his and his, Mr. and Mr.
Hello, thank you for listening as I kick down your door. Due to COVID-19, gender has been canceled. Now, go be whoever the fuck you want. Goodbye.
The unthinkable has happened, and I have to be the one to tell you all. But after being on this app for a month now, it has been confirmed that I am somehow gayer.
Boobies.
Penis.
Coochie.
They got rid of Zootopia on Netflix.
You shouldn't mess with me. You don't wanna mess with me. Cause if you mess with me, you're messing with my family. You shouldn't mess with me. You don't wanna mess with me. Cause if you mess with me, you're messing with my family.
In high school, I went to prom with my best friend who was a lesbian, and she ended up having a crush on me, and we sort of made out and stuff, and that really confused her. And then it happened in college, and then it happened 5 years ago, and I'm sure that was really confusing for them, but for me it's sort of gratifying looking back on oh, I am a girl and they just didn't know that. They could sense it or something. And it's weird, you hear cis het guys sometimes saying to lesbians I could turn you, I could switch you. So I guess what I'm saying to those guys is careful what you wish for, sir, because you might be transgender. And medical access in the United States is not amazing, and it's kind of a long process. Worth it, though, actually. Now I just have the regular lesbian problem of being attracted to straight girls.
Alright, specimen 1997 B1612 is almost complete. Now I just have to add in the attraction, and she is ready to pop out. Alright, we're gonna make her regular bisexual, 50-50. Oh my god, Michael! That is a gorgeous top! Wow, oh! She can still be bi, I guess. Yeah, there's attraction to men. That's gonna confuse her for years. Give her some deep-rooted issues, and everyone around her is going to doubt. Oh no.
Y'all, it is 2020. The Equality Act has not passed. What does that mean, you might ask? That means that if you live in any one of these states, here they are, then you can legally be turned away from housing, employment, and public accommodations due to sexuality or gender identification. But they don't specify which sexuality or gender identity that means. So I have a favor to ask of you guys. If you're a landlord or a business owner in any of those 29 states that I mentioned before, start turning away straight or cis people just for being straight or cis. That will quickly make people realize just how unfair this law is and why we need to pass the Equality Act. There are several cases of this happening to people who are not straight or cis, and it was perfectly legal then, so I don't see why it shouldn't be perfectly legal now. According to precedent, you can't get into legal trouble. Like, comment, and share so more business owners and landlords can see this.
motherfucker.
Even old New York was once New Amsterdam. Why they changed it, I can't say. People just liked it better that way. So take me back to Constantinople. No, you can't go back to Constantinople. Been a long time gone, Constantinople.
Alright, so there are a lot of guys on TikTok right now talking about how they're scared to put their hand on a girl's thigh because what if she calls rape? What if I hold my girlfriend's hand and I get punched? What if I hold my girlfriend's hand and I get a death threat? Because the things that happen to people who are in same-sex relationships, those things are real. I have been hurt for holding my girlfriend's hand. But y'all are scared to do something that y'all could ask for consent for and not have a repercussion, because if you ask for consent and she says yes, then that's a completely different story than someone who is walking down the street holding their girlfriend's hand and they get jumped. Or going to a nightclub to go have fun and getting shot at. Or going to school and kissing your girlfriend, just like every other straight couple does, but getting punched right afterwards because someone doesn't agree with that. Are we going to talk about the things that actually matter? Things that can't be prevented? Or
things that turn pansexuals on to the max. Part 1. Stainless steel frying pans.
So I came out to my family last Christmas, and I was actually dating my boyfriend at the time. I broke up with him a week after. And then after that I moved to the city, and I recently just moved in with my housemate. Her name's Maddie. When I moved in with her, my pop called me, and he was pretty silent during the time. He's a bit like, you know how pops can be a bit like, you know, bigots. But he actually called me and he asked me about Maddie and like just said how she was doing, and then he was like, you know, she's your girlfriend though. You feel free to bring her over to the house. I'd love to meet her. I'd love to get to know her. And I just said like, no, don't worry, Pop. Like, she's just like my housemate. But I will bring my girlfriend over if you want to meet her. Which was really sweet. No girlfriend yet, so I can't show my Pop. But like, ladies, my Pop will cook you food. Good at cake and shit.
Baja Blast is just gay Sprite.
I had someone actually just comment, "You'll never be a real girl." Sir, I am cis. I am a cisgendered woman. You just proved that you cannot tell the difference between a trans person and a cis person.
So, I got an Uber not too long ago, and this guy was expecting a man. It's not uncommon for when I'm, getting an Uber or Lyft for them to be expecting a man because my name is Santana. And I assume that that's predominantly a man name, even though it's actually a last name, but whatever. Anyways, I got in the car and he's like, "You're not a man." And I was like, "I'm not a man. Were you expecting a man?" He's like, "Yeah, I was expecting a man." I was like, "Well, I'm not a man." And he was like, "Oh, okay. Are you like one of those transgenders?" And I said, no. He's like, "Okay, well, let me tell you about the story when I went on a date with somebody who was trans. Apparently, she had put it in her bio that she was trans, and he didn't read it, and so when they got to the date, she was like, "Wow, it's really nice of you to like come on this date with me. A lot of people aren't that open-minded." He was like, "What are you talking about?" And she told him, and then he was like, "Wow, this is really awkward. I didn't know that you actually had a penis. I don't want to be here." And she goes, "Okay, well, I'm gonna leave." He's like, "No, I paid for the tickets you're staying." And he said that she was really awkward the whole night, but he didn't know why. And I just sat there in the back like, "Buddy, you seemed kind of upset that she was trans. I'm sure she thought she was gonna get murdered."
If our generation survives long enough to be grandparents, we're gonna have some fucked up stories. Yeah, this, plague went around the world and started, shutting everything down. When I was a kid, I had to convince people not to trash the planet. You learned math in school? When I was your age, I learned how to hide under a desk from an AK-47. Our Thanksgiving debates were about whether or not I deserved human rights. We actually argued in class about whether or not people of the same sex should be able to adopt. Yeah, I mean, sometimes when police officers saw a black person, they just decided to shoot them. Oh, no. I got to vote. The majority didn't win. The leader of the country wanted to grab people's posts. But let's be honest, are we actually going to be able to be grandparents with the state of the world right now?
So, I'm pretty much gay. As in, I married the one man I was attracted to. I mean, he's my soulmate. I'm not that mad about it. So he tells me the other day, after I was talking about, like, wow, you've been really forward about your support of my sexuality, which is great. And he goes, yeah, I mean, I courted a lesbian and I won. And I'm like, you won? He's like, yeah, I won. Did I lose?
Alright, for those of you out there who are saying there are more than two genders, you're wrong. And for those of you who are saying that there are only two genders, you're also wrong. There is, in fact, only one gender, and it's nerf for nothing, motherfucker!
Oh my gosh, hi everyone! My name is Susanna, and I am a camp counselor here at Camp Hate 2 Straight. Now, let's just start off, first things first, I get it. A lot of you are so bummed out that Supreme Overlord Emperor King Ruler Pence sent you all to conversion therapy camp. I get it, and I know it's hard, but listen, we are gonna have just the best time ever learning things about each other, about the Word of God, about America. We are just gonna have such a good time, and you guys are gonna turn straight. Yay! Now, let's just, first I have to confiscate a few things, for your benefit. But now that that's out of the way, we are gonna have so much fun. Oh my gosh, I am so excited for all of you. Oh my.
Hey.
There are flowers growing all around a massive animal inside of me, and it's so ugly, and I'm so broken, and I'm so ugly, and it's so broken.
Okay, so, we meet on Tinder. We talk for a little while. Guess what? We decide we're gonna meet in person. Well, we're lesbians, so we go on a coffee date. Guess what? We fall in love. After the coffee date, I look at you and I say, you know what? I love you. Then you look at me and you say, you know what? I love you too. What do? I get down on one knee. How did I know I was gonna propose? I bought the ring yesterday. Guess what? It fits perfect. Second date, you know what we're doing? We're getting a U-Haul. Third date, we're moving in. And guess what else? We're already planning the wedding. We're talking about a spring wedding. At this point, we have 2 cats. One's orange and his name's George. Fourth date, you're pregnant. Guess what? I knew. Fifth date, we get in a fight. But it's okay. It's not your fault you're still in love with your ex. Because same. Sixth date, it's our wedding. Your parents aren't very happy, but it's okay because mine rock. Seventh date is the honeymoon. And guess what? We kill it. A lesbian love story.
Hey, Dad. Dad.
Yes?
I'm gay.
You are? Wait, there's no closet. How do you come out of the closet? There's no closet here.
So, I was having a conversation with all of my gay friends, which is really just all my friends, really. And we were like, yo, what if, hear me out, what if a guy and a girl could have a baby? Not like adoption, like if they could conceive a child through science. I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty good, that's some good shit. But then I was like, wait! Boom! I could feel all of the biology that I had learned in high school rushing back to me. So I decided to pull out my handy-dandy Punnett squares. Because you see, if you got a female right here, XX chromosomes, oopsie, and a male, which is XY, you put them together, you got XXXXY. That's half and half chance of male female. If you had two girls, then it would be 100% female. Now here's the tricky thing. You got 25% female, 50% male. What the fuck is a YY?
Round 2 with kids and gender. I had this kid come up to me and he said, "Are you a sir or a ma'am?" And knowing what he meant, I said, "I'm not really either of those things, but go ahead and call me sir. I'm more comfortable with that." And he goes, "Okay," and then doesn't refer to me for the rest of the conversation, which honestly is ideal. Then I had this little girl, she was probably 4 or 5 years old, clinging to her mother's arm. She asked me if I'm a boy or a girl, and the fact that she's even asking means that I can say, I'm actually non-binary, so I'm not really either of those things. But you know what? That's okay too. And she thinks on that for a little while her mom is like, "Oh my God, I am so sorry that she asked. This is so embarrassing. We're from the Bay Area. She just had a girl come out at school." And I said, "No, this is great. This is the best thing ever." And cat time. What are you doing up there? What are you doing?
Oh, it was sexism.
Hey, what's up, girl? Hi. Yo, what's good? You single? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm bisexual. Wait, what? Yeah, sorry. I'm really flattered, though. So, yeah. Yeah, but you're bisexual. Doesn't that mean I like men and women? Yep. Yep, you got it. I'm a guy. Yeah. You are. Whoa. I'm confused. Yeah, so am I. So am I. Bye.
Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow.